It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantatrax TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine indeed. Welcome back for your weekly recap of everything Star Wars and Lucasfilm. I'm your host, Brian Cameron, and with me as always, my partner in crime, Mr. Paul Naylor.
Good evening, Brian. Are you well?
I'm very well indeed. We haven't been sued for $5 million or $5 million billion or whatever this week, so we're doing better than some media outlets. But,
arguably better.
Arguably better. Arguably better. We've lasted longer than Sky Sports Halo on TikTok, who lasted all of 3 days. But don't think that we can't offend, because that's what we're here to do.
Whether we intend to or not.
Whether we intend to or not.
Oh dear.
Indeed.
So have you had a good week?
A couple of days in hospital, but that was planned, so that's okay.
Blimey.
Other than that, I've had a busy week. I've been working on a secret television project at the moment, so we'll not able to discuss. We might be able to discuss in just over 12 months, maybe.
Oh, blimey. That sounds fun.
But we'll see. We'll see. In the chat, as always, Mr. Mark Newbold, he is not deep fake. So he won't be appearing on Disney Plus later in 2026 unless we get an AI Mark Newbold. How's your week been, Paul?
Well, it ended quite oddly at an awards ceremony. Now, I was asked to stand in for a colleague of mine who couldn't make it. He was over in Ireland hosting Shawn Ryder. Believe that. It is the truth. And so I said, yeah, I'll go along to the awards ceremony. Didn't quite read the invite properly. So as I was walking around with a glass of fizz in my hand, I started realising that I was one of the only two people in black tie. Everybody else was just in lounge suits. I looked basically as if I should be handing out drinks to people, but still, we make these mistakes. And to top it all, didn't win the award anyway. So, what can you do? What can you do?
What the argument is that you were just best dressed. That's the award you won.
I was. I should have won that. I definitely should. But I looked around the room, and it was sort of like by the time it filled up, the pre-drinks, you looked around the room, and there was people that they catch your eye because they were also wearing black tie, and they go, right. Clearly they're not ready like that. So yeah, it was all good fun. All good fun.
Oh well, good fun had at the ceremony.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the food was atrocious. Well, no. The main course and the pudding were fine. The starter was like something out of I don't know, the Lars Homestead. It was weird, just very strange. But yeah, it was good fun. Many drinks were imbibed and a good night's sleep. So it was all good.
As long as you don't throw up the bad starter, nothing tragic like that happens.
No.
It works out well.
No, I didn't throw up. I'm way past that sort of league of drinking. That was my mid to late teens and early 20s, where I never could quite predict how much was going to force me over the edge. I pretty much know now, so I'm all right.
There you go. As Mark says, well turned out, mate. You win.
Thank you.
Jonathan Tyson there on Facebook. He was at Comic-Con Liverpool today.
Hi, Jonathan.
Did you get a chance to see John Boyega or Amelia Clark? Or I think there's a whole host of Star Wars guests at Comic-Con Liverpool.
Well, Jonathan does collect autographs, so I'm guessing he has managed to get hold of some today. So let us know what you got, Jonathan.
I think our own Matt Booker was there as well.
Yeah, but never let that put you off from going to an event.
Should we see what we've got coming up on the show?
Yeah, mate, let's have a look.
Coming up first, we're going to be looking at the Grammy Awards. There's nominations there for Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and also John Williams.
Good old John. The Lucas Museum is set to open September 2026, something that we're all looking forward to.
He's obviously been using my kind of builders, because it's been delayed quite a lot.
I think it's the gang from A Reader's Own Pet.
Funko warned that 2026 could be their last as they're in somewhat of financial distress, like we all will be after this week's budget.
Yeah, we'll all have bobbleheads by the end of the week. Star Wars Celebration Japan store is reopening 20th of November to the 1st of December.
Get rid of all that dead stock before Christmas.
Absolutely.
Disney Plus has radically raised their prices from the $6.99 it started out at. I think it's now at $18.99 a month.
What?
And how are they justifying that? They're going to add some gaming features and AI generated content. Aren't we excited for that?
You'll have Mickey Mouse with 3 ears. Fantastic. And it's also, sadly, it's the end of an era. Star Wars Insider magazine is to end with issue 237 in early 2026. And obviously that's something that our dear friend Mr. Newbold contributes to on a regular basis. So we will be sad to see that one go.
Yeah. And Mark just commented in the comments there, there's some great photos. In fact, there's socials from Matt earlier today at Liverpool Comic Con. Mark himself and Mark Mulcaster from our podcast Making Tracks, they were both at the Force Awakens concert at the Royal Albert Hall last night. Everyone's getting nights out. It's terrible. I'm stuck
I know.
at home.
And what do we get, Bri? We've got The Last Jedi on ITV.
Was that on ITV?
That was on today, I think.
That's why I don't watch that channel.
I dodged that bullet.
Sue then, Mr. Trump. $5 billion for making us watch that. John Watts has been talking Skeleton Crew. He'd love to do anything in the Star Wars universe. Oh, you get the best line, by the way, Paul. Next item.
Do I? Oh, fantastic. Oscar Isaac on his return to Star Wars. I said a slightly dickish thing. What a great quote. And please don't feel free to isolate me saying I said a slightly dickish thing and use it against me.
Yeah,
please don't.
It's going to get clipped. Sigourney Weaver's been talking to Mandalorian and Grogu. She said they're no longer trying to do the Star Wars to end all Star Wars.
So that's going to be mediocre then. And Shawn Levy on Star Wars Starfighter. His all-new, non-sequel, non-prequel adventure. So make of that what you will.
Matt Smith has also been talking Star Wars Starfighter. I'm about to do Star Wars in December, he said.
Ho, ho, ho.
Jonathan there talking about Liverpool Comic Con. He mainly does photo ops at Comic Cons. He met Tamura Morrison, great guy, love him. Katie Sackhoff as well, and a selfie with Daniel Logan. That's 3 great guests there.
Yeah. Well, the selfie that I've got with Daniel Logan, Daniel took himself because, well, I'm a bit old on. I don't know what I'm doing. He goes, "Here, give me the phone, mate," and he took the photo. So it was all good. But yeah, good one, Jonathan.
Mark pointing out that I was winding down by the NHS this week. They also did the third thing that you can't say to me this week as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, should we move on?
Yes.
Oh dear, let's bring up the first news article of the week.
Did they ask you to cough? Did they ask you to cough?
Oh dear. Grammy Awards. You don't get that kind of talk at the Grammy Awards.
You don't.
There's nominations for Star Wars, Indiana Jones and John Williams. For Best Music Film, John Williams there. For the Music by John Williams documentary that was on Disney Plus. For the best score soundtrack for video games and other interactive media, both the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, as well as Star Wars Outlaws, Wild Card, and Pirate's Fortune, which was the add-on and DLC. They were nominated as well, so good luck to all of them when the Grammy Awards come around 1st of February next year at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. A great name for an arena.
Fantastic. It'd be nice to see John Williams get something. I'm sure that will happen.
Has to be, because look who he's up against.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Yeah, that is quite very poor, the rest of them. So, well, Ray might get that. And it's not our Ray, it's another Ray.
Mark Newbold, financially, I think he's talking about my comments about the NHS. No, just in terms of when they can next get an appointment. There's a 9-month waiting list.
You could have had a baby by then.
I could have done. I said that to the nurse. I said, if I have a baby before then, but she said, if you have a baby before then, you get put to the top of the queue. Jonathan Tyson there. Again, Daniel Logan was the highlight of the day. He was such a nice guy with me and my dad. He was really lively, spent some time with the fans. Funny guy as well. I had the pleasure of meeting him at Star Wars Fun Day in the past as well.
Yeah.
And really great guy.
We had a drink with him at the hotel in Orlando after celebration. Well, midway through celebration. He was good fun. Yeah, he hung around with us for a bit. And then I think we also saw him at another drinks reception while we were out there. Yeah, good fun.
He did indeed. Next up on the news front is Mr. George Lucas's museum. Despite
It looks like a
the
Star
dodgy
Trek
builders,
museum.
it's finally going to be ready. I saw a video this week of them stocking up the exhibits. They have a C-3PO, so I'm kind of in two minds whether I want to go now. I also saw they had the female Tusken Raiders as well.
Right, okay.
So like a collective mix of Star Wars content is going to be in there.
Yeah.
And it's all set to open September 22nd next year, Paul.
Fingers crossed that no dates change. Hopefully the builders have nailed that date. But yeah, it looks what was that little droid that Leia had in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series? It looks like two of those next to each other. Very strange.
Yes, yeah.
Imagine them chirping away.
Designed by Ma Yan Song of Mad.
I knew it was.
The
you
gardens
can tell, can't
designed
you?
by Maya Later of Studio MLA. I just feel sorry for the gardener that's got to go up there and
mow that.
Mow that, you know. You can't really do that with a sit-on mower, can you?
Not really. I'm not doing a wheelie or two.
Yeah, you could just overshoot and it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
An intelligent person would get a mower, put it on a rope and just let it drop down.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to the opening of this? Is it something
Look at me, he's fact-checking.
Lola,
That's just
that was
sad.
what I wanted.
LOLE59.
You could have just put Lola, Mr. Newbold.
Lola.
That's just over the top.
Freak. Apparently, you've got an episode of Fanta from Down Under upcoming, Mr. Paul Naylor, over
Yes,
on
we
the podcast,
have.
Fanta Tracks Radio.
We have, and I'm also doing something special based on Monty Python's. I forget which one it is. It's one of the Monty Python things with Adam as well, so that'll be fun.
A very random question as well from him. If Jason Donovan was in Star Wars, who would you cast as him?
That's a good question. He could have made a very old Luke Skywalker, couldn't he? If Mark Hamill wasn't going to come back, he would have been good as Luke Skywalker. And then I wouldn't have minded what happened to him in The Last Jedi.
I would have cast. Who would I cast as Jason Donovan?
Oh, I tell you who he would be good as. Hooks. He'd have made a good Hooks.
I'm going to just Google so I can get
You're
the name
Googling.
correctly. Can you tell? I'm Googling.
Yeah, I can tell you Googling.
Stephen Dennis. That's who I'd cast.
What, to play the part of Jason Donovan playing
Yep.
the Star Wars character?
Just to mix it up a little.
Well, I'm going to make you feel good. There you go.
You're going to get 35 galleries, 100,000 square feet, 40,000 works on display. Everything from comic book art to movie posters to props and everything else in between. And, you know, one of the largest Norman Rockwell collections as well. Items from Beatrix Potter, Jack Kirby, you know, the whole length and breadth. Also going to house the Lucas Archives, which people, you know, like us are going to be most familiar with, which will be the models, props, concept art, and costumes from Mr. Lucas's filmmaking career.
But it's more about his private art collection, really, isn't it?
And as I was mentioned earlier, they've launched their TikTok channel and they've got like a little video of them setting up some of the exhibits there as well. So look forward to that. John on Facebook, looking forward to seeing this museum. My nephew was cataloguing for the museum. They came across one of the original Jabba the Hutts. The only thing that survived were the eyes. The rest of the character faded away. Interesting stuff indeed. So that is the Lucas Museum. So they're going to be around at the end of 2026.
Yeah.
Someone who might not be and might end up in a museum. Look at the slick link. Funko Pops.
This stuff isn't just thrown together, Bri.
No, it's all linked. It's all linked and highly prepared. It has been the biggest boom over the last 15 years of Funkos. But they're losing money hand over fist. And they have a mountain of debt approaching a period where it's going to have to be repaid. And they quite simply do not have the cash with which to repay the debt. And nobody is likely to come forward to wish to provide them with new financing. So
is this because they've spent so much money on different licenses that they've not been able to?
It's one of these things when products are exploding, you get massive investment behind it, and they get lots of investment in debt offerings to help them grow. But you then have to deliver the profit. So you get everyone goes on about Amazon never cut a profit for many, many years. Yeah. But people were betting on the fact that it's going to be the future. And what do you do when you shop online is you probably head to Amazon and you just type it in and you get it next day or same day or whatever. Yeah. And they don't make anything, Amazon, really, from their shopping experience. They'll make very little in profit that way. They make the most of the money from providing server services to other businesses, other governments, indeed. And so ironically, all the investment into this is the future proved to be right, because it wasn't the Amazon shop that was the future. It was the tech behind it and the ability to do things at that size and scale. Yeah. That's provided them with the profitable business they've got now. Now, to be fair, they might not pay much taxes on those profits as they shuffle it around the world and back to America and pay their taxes there. So there's always debate about the ethics of a company the size of Amazon. But they were a company where they got a lot of debt investment and made a lot of losses, and eventually it paid off. Funko, on the go for 15 years, everyone knew how big that exploded, and everywhere you go to any convention, you've got walls and walls of them. People collect them madly. But at some point, you have to start delivering the profits to generate the cash to pay the debt, and it just hasn't happened. They've been making losses again this year, and everything's going to come to a head. So they're probably looking at selling out to a bigger concern.
Yeah. But, I mean, for me,
if you were interested in buying them, Paul, just to finish the story, would you buy them and pay a big fee to allow them to pay off their debt, or would you wait until they collapse and pick it up at a much smaller price? Business is business, Brian. Yeah.
Business is business. I mean, they're everywhere, aren't they? You go in your local supermarket. There's always a good selection of them. You go to your comic stores, of course. There's loads of them in there. So the fact that they're in so much trouble does seem mismanagement, dare I say. And there's Bry displaying and that's a Japanese Jar Jar Binks, I believe.
That's the one from Celebration.
Yeah.
Number 777.
Not 666 then. No, 777. Right. So, I mean, what's your thoughts? I mean, is it something that you liked over the years and thought, hey, I might collect these, or have you just sort of thought, nah, they'll look the same? Or what's your opinion on Funkos?
I like them when they get cut open and there's a brain inside.
Is that real, or is
I
that?
don't think it is, but I like it. I like it.
I've seen those videos.
I don't see the point of collecting something and keeping it in boxes. Now, I know that's going to hurt, Paul, because that's what you do. But I don't. And I never got this box. I bought this at Celebration purely in the hope of taking it home and scalping someone. But the box is slightly damaged. Well, no, it's quite significantly damaged on the back because going through China on the way home was an experience. They stole my batteries out of everything.
Really?
Forcing me to go on Timo and buy more batteries from China, ironically. So I can see their game. Yeah, they took my batteries out of everything. They went through every single bag, and my Jar Jar was damaged despite being packed well. So I was not a happy gentleman.
Why would they take your batteries? Is it because they think that they've got some sort of spyware in them or something, or what?
I don't know. They also took the clothes off of Grogu. So I don't know what else happened to Grogu. There is no footage that I'm aware of, but things happened. That's all I can say.
Oh, Grogu was rubber gloved, everyone. Oh
no. They had a very strange display as you went through security as well, and a glass cabinet of things that they had taken off of people. And there was a very oddly shaped item that
you've told me this story.
Yeah, there was a very oddly shaped item that you might commonly find inside of someone. Would be the most I could probably say on YouTube.
We're back to the glove,
proudly on display. And I'm like,
dear.
Okay.
Oh dear.
As Mark has, and also taken out of people. So yeah, it was a strange experience passing through China. I don't know why Grogu's clothes were taken off.
No.
Jar Jar Binks ended up damaged, so I haven't sold them as yet. But if you would like them, make an offer. He's up for sale. I don't know what he's worth. I'll have to eBay and see what he's worth.
We've just had a £10 offer from Mark for the naked Grogu, but make of that what you will.
Yeah, that was terrible. But yeah, so I got Jar Jar, one of my few purchases in the Celebration store, which kindly leads us on to the next topic.
Brian, what are you doing today? This is all.
Oh, it's almost like it was planned.
So slick.
The Celebration store is going to reopen from the 20th of November through the 1st of December as they flog all of the stock they couldn't get rid of in Japan. Now, I went to the Celebration store in Japan, Paul. It was the worst experience I have ever had at any convention anywhere in the world. It was horrendous. The organisation of it was horrendous. The queues were horrendous. I had a fast track in, and I was also in the accessibility queue to get out. So my experience should have been slick, and probably was slick compared to others. Horrendous.
How many hours?
I got maybe 5% of what I wanted.
Yeah.
And it was just horrible. Horrible.
Well, look, I mean, there were tales of people being in the queue for the whole day. And bearing in mind, this was like a 3-day event.
Yeah.
Somebody spent a whole day in a queue to get to a shop.
The only reason I bought that Jar Jar Binks, and this is the truth, is because I spent so long to get in and so long to get through, was actually bundled to the floor. And look at the size of me. It takes a lot of effort to bundle me to the floor. I was bundled to the floor by someone while standing stationary in a queue, might I add.
Oh, no.
The only reason I bought the Jar Jar, because it was on the table at the till. And I was so irate by the time I got to the till that I spent so long and wasted so much of my day, was in pain, having been knocked over, that I thought, I might as well buy something. So I hate Jar Jar. I don't collect Funko Pops. And I just thought, I could scalp someone and resell this. And then it got damaged on the way home, so I'm gutted. But maybe someone will give me a tenner.
I can imagine what that experience would have been like to have shared with you, Brian. That would have
Mr.
been great.
Newbold saying that the store is a disaster.
It is.
Every show, it never changes.
Yeah.
Actually, the show, I think it was the first one in Orlando. It was the one where they were selling the huge Star Wars archives book in the huge wooden box.
Oh, right.
If anyone remembers that. They wouldn't sell it to me because I was in the UK. They could only sell it to people in America because of the shipping.
Oh, right.
And then I argued with them for long enough that I would pay whatever it took to ship it. And I was about... at that time, this was in an afternoon in Orlando, the store was practically empty and there was about 5 people in it, and it was me, and one of the other 5 was actually Seth Green. Randomly. Very randomly.
Brilliant.
But I was begging them to sell me something and they wouldn't. So it's not... Yeah, it was Star Wars Frames, you're right. 2010. He's a man of knowledge. Celebration 5.
He's a genius.
Yeah, they wouldn't sell it to me. So it's still the one thing that I desperately want, I cannot get, is the Star Wars Frames wooden one. And I believe that there's loads of them at Skywalker Ranch because they were all damaged. And it was one of the worst product produced items ever because there's so much of the stock was damaged.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to have to do like a fanboys and invade Skywalker Ranch and steal one. But yeah, I could not get them to sell it to me. They would not sell it to anyone that wasn't based in America because of the shipping.
So do we know what's going to be on offer in this Japan store or not yet?
We do.
Ooh.
Annoyingly.
A Sushi BB-8 t-shirt.
All sorts of t-shirts. Everybody's going to want the tote bag.
Go back the other way because I think that Jar Jar Binks is still available.
I know. I'll come to that. And I don't know what that is.
What's
like
Thor's hammer?
Don't know what that is. Some
What's
rubbish
that?
plastic. I didn't buy that because it looks so crap. Pins,
Nice.
patches, and that.
Is that the one? Is that him?
Yeah.
There he is.
Uckers. That's what I'm going to say. So, everyone should go for the skateboard instead.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
I'm
They'll probably
betting
take the
Mr.
wheels off.
Newbold's going to go for the pins and patches because I don't think I was able to get them for him when I was in the store.
Yeah.
Because I had a list. You can get all sorts of rubbish t-shirts. I think there's more than what's here because you can get the Mandalorian and Grogu t-shirt because they only had that in small when I was there. Not going to fit me.
That's no good to either of us. No.
So there is if you go to wherever, wonder if I'll load. There we go.
Yeah.
There is loads up in StarWars.com as well, but I think it's just what we've got.
Is your battery going?
Yeah, it's gone dark, isn't it?
Yeah, you're okay now.
They've got some items on .com. They have a locked off store. I believe if you go to the Celebration Japan, the Star Wars Japan social media, they had a lot better, clearer list of things as well.
Okay. But you don't have to have gone to the event to be applicable to buy these things. It's open to the general public. Is that right?
It's open first to attendees for a couple of days, I think. Then it opens up to the general public.
Okay.
Pins and patches for Mark, although he did get a few off a pal on eBay. You've got no friends on eBay. Let me be clear on that. Everyone's out to get you. You also got the event tee, but not doing the event passes in a pack. Yeah, it was impossible to get things. I actually met Jonathan Hipkiss in the Celebration store when I was there. He was having a nightmare as well.
Good old John.
Yeah. So that's Star Wars Celebration and Funko. Your thoughts on Funkos, Paul, before we move on, and your thoughts on the store.
Okay, so Funkos, I've had a few over the years. I was looking for some that I know I've got for the show, but they are packed away, ready to sell at the next event I go to. And even then, when I bought those, they were sort of like, well, the one that I bought on its own was it Snap Wexley, the pilot that was in the sequel trilogy. Cost hardly anything. John, wasn't John, was it? No, John didn't like your own. No. Yeah, so I bought Snap Wexley, I think, which was about £5, so it was, seriously reduced. And then there was a pack that was in Tesco, which was from the Mandalorian, and from the Mandalorian. But it's something for me that I've never really understood the appeal of it. For me, they certainly to begin with, in the early days, they were all based on the same model, and just different design painted onto it. Then as it evolved, it got a little bit more sort of different. But no, I'd rather get something that looks a little bit more like the character itself than a cartoony version of them. And as for my experiences in Celebration stores over the years, I've queued at several of them, got into it, and then been really disappointed about what was in stock. It was normally a very vast sort of area with very little in it. And like you, the same as like what you did with Jar Jar Binks, you get to a point where you think, well, I've got to buy something. I've queued up for 2 hours. So you just pick something up that you ordinarily wouldn't buy, just so that you haven't wasted your time. So we've said for years, that's the one thing that they really need to sort out, is the system for selling stuff. I think what you should be able to do is reserve it in advance. If you could reserve it in advance, then not only would they know how many to bring, but it would you would guarantee your stuff.
That was the extra annoying thing about Japan, though, because I had reserved some items, not from the store, but you could pre-order things like the pins, and you could pre-order the little frame like thing with the whatever. Yeah. And they weren't ready on day one. It was day 3 before I could go and pick mine up. And so I'd actually gone every day to pick mine up and stood in the queue to pick mine up, and it's not ready. It just, the whole thing doesn't work. It's been said before on this show that the likes of T-shirts always seem to be the big hold-up, and they're printing them there as well. Well, they should have that dotted around the convention centre. 10 different stands doing T-shirts, spread the queues out, and then whatever. And there should be a limit on everything else. You should be allowed to buy one of each item. Get rid of all the scalpers, because people were just taking they would come and they would put out a shelf of whatever garbage they were trying to flog, and people would just take the whole shelf. Yeah.
What they should do as well, if they dot a different number of locations around at the event for people to go to, you should be allocated. So say there's A, B, and C. If you were allocated to go to C, that's where you go to get your merch from. It could be done so much better. And especially when, like Japan was 3 days. People have travelled a long way to go to that. They're at the event, and they've queued for one whole day for a shop. The stuff that they would have missed.
That's the annoying thing. Crazy. If you could spend that time to get into the shop and actually get the products that you want. Yeah. It's great. But it's actually annoying to me. I wanted the tote bag. I collect tote bags, sadly, from all the celebrations. I couldn't get the tote bag in the store for all the hours I spent in there.
I think that came up on that list, didn't it?
A whole morning I think I spent at the store. It's in that list. Now, I know lots of people are going to go for that tote bag. Yeah. So I'm now thinking I get access to the store because I've got a celebration ticket for Japan. Guaranteed it's sold out.
Yeah.
or guaranteed they're shipping it from Japan or America, and I'm going to buy a bag for $15 and then pay $50 in shipping.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sad days. What else can I grump about? Let's see what else we've got coming up. Oh yeah, here's the next thing to complain about. Disney Plus. Remember when it was $6.99, people?
I thought it still was.
I think it's like $18.99 now.
Good Lord.
Bob Iger's baby. That's time to end. It is a broken platform. It was broken from day one, and it'll go with Bob Iger. It'll be bundled into something else because it cannot stand on its own. The sheer lack of content they're making on it tells you everything, and yet the price has gone up. What's Mr. Iger's solution to that? Well, it's his $1.5 billion deal with the Fortnite makers, Epic Games. They're going to add games to the platform, and they're also going to allow you to create your own AI animations within the platform as well. And that's going to go well, because it went well in Fortnite with AI Darth Vader acting like a Nazi and saying outrageous racist things. What more do you want on Disney Plus and see things like that?
Oh dear.
Is this a company that's run out of ideas?
I think it's always had an inadequate model, shall we say? The problem is you release things at the cinema, and people are going to pay and go and watch it. So you've got a revenue stream, and for the most part, people will have been sort of getting some profit from that. You know, so Disney would make significant profit. What profit can you make on a show that is on a streaming platform?
Yep.
You can't. I mean, once
you can't make a
people are
profit on a show, but you know it's going to make no more than 3 million viewers because that's what your top shows are getting.
Yeah. So, you know, it's never been... I don't think it's ever been a sustainable model, put it that way.
But from day one, it was never going to work on the basis that the idea of it was to replace a $50 service with a $8 service.
Yeah.
And somehow make more profits doing that.
Yeah.
What needed to happen was Warner Brothers and Disney and Paramount or whoever should have joined together and said, let's knock Sky or Direct out the game. Let's join our 3 platforms together and compete against them as an over-the-top service. So people have choices. And I think that's where it's going to end up. In the same way that WWE is a good example, had their own streaming service, are now bundled into Netflix or Peacock, depending on where you are in the world and what content you want, or ESPN as well. Ironically, a Disney company. Disney Plus is going to go that way, and you're starting to see that because there's elements of it bundled in with ITVX, soon to be owned by Comcast, it appears. You're going to get it bundled in with other content. It's the only way it can work. As Mark says, the streaming bubble will burst like .com. There will be 3 that survive tops. Yep, I think I could have predicted that from the start. If I could see it in my lowly position within the entertainment industry, then everybody else in financials in the entertainment industry saw it too. Yeah. We're just too scared to say.
So have you got Disney Plus at the moment, Brian?
No. You know what I've got? I have Amazon Prime because it saves me on postage and packaging. Yeah. Couldn't care less about the video content. I'll watch it on something on Amazon Prime randomly, perhaps. Yeah. But it's there for the postage. And I have Apple TV because I constantly get 30-day free trials on Amazon Apple TV.
Oh, right.
All the time. It's very easy to get a 30-day free trial. Amazingly. Yeah. You just have to remember to cancel.
I've got Prime, like you. It's mostly for the postal, but there is stuff on there that's just watchable. Although it is littered these days with adverts, which are very annoying, and they go on for like 3 or 4 minutes. Netflix I've also got, and Disney Plus I do have and have had for ever since Star Wars content was on there. And for me, it's my Star Wars library. So if I want to go and watch something Star Wars, it's there. But my brother, for example, he'll wait for a series to be completely available. He'll have it for a month. He'll watch, he'll watch the new stuff, and then that's it. He won't renew until there's something new on there that he wants to watch. But yeah, it's each to their own. But I agree with what Mark was saying. I think it will end up in a situation where these streaming services all sort of buy each other out. We end up with two, maybe three sort of umbrella organisations, if you like.
Yeah, Chris is asking about Monopolies Commission. Would that be an issue?
Well, yes.
I think that's probably an issue when it comes to Comcast, who owns Sky, buying ITV, because they own 70% plus of the advertising in the UK. But the Monopolies Commission have got to look at it from a point of view of, if these companies don't do these things at scales, the advertising on TV is falling away so much that is competition the essential, or is it purely having a marketplace? So I reckon that could get approved. In terms of the streamers combining together, because they're separate companies and they'll all be getting their own part of the earnings from their share of the stream service, that wouldn't be an issue, them combining and competing. It is crazy that in the UK you've got Sky, you've got Virgin Media, and you've got Freeview, and that's it, really.
Well, it's even crazier that we've got the BBC licence fee, but we won't.
Yeah, we won't have that for much longer. Come on, Donald, take them out, hit them for $5 billion, and we won't have to pay it. We'll all be delighted. You'll be a national hero.
See, I tapped it to him. He's knocked it in the back of the neck.
Let's imagine, right? Let's just imagine he wins. That's a long stretch, but let's just say he wins and he gets his $5 billion, and the BBC turn around and say, "Hey, everybody, your TV license next year is going to be 3 times the price because we've got a bill to pay." How many people are going to pay the TV license?
Well, not many, and I would imagine there's probably a few already considering what to do with this. You know, I don't really want to see Pam St Clements come back in EastEnders. I don't want to see EastEnders full stop, so it doesn't bother me.
My comment on the whole situation, ignoring the fact it's Donald Trump and whatever his intentions were on January 6th, not really interested in that argument anymore. It's done, it's dusted, it's happened, it's been debated, it's been run through the courts, and they re-elected him as president for a second term. So the American people have had their say on the issue. It was horrendous edit that the BBC did.
Shocking.
Regardless of what he was trying to emphasise that day. So if they get sued, it's their own fault. It was stupid. From an organisation who anyone who's ever worked with them will understand have so many levels of approval for anything that so many people had to have approved that content going out that it's beyond idiotic. So if they do have to pay $5 billion, it's their own fault, and I certainly won't be helping pay it if they have to.
You tell them, bro.
I tell them. I don't watch live TV. I just watch. I never watch Good Morning Tatooine because I'm on it.
I don't think we're on BBC.
But technically, if you're watching Good Morning Tatooine, you've got to pay a TV license fee in the UK because you're watching live content.
Oh yeah. Don't stop them from watching.
No. Watch this on repeat.
Twice.
Give us a thumbs up, ring the bell, subscribe.
You've been watching Panda Tracks. Good night.
Here we could be on Disney Plus. That would save the platform.
They need something like this.
There's an opportunity to use AI as an engagement engine for people who want to go to our theme parks, want to stay at our hotels, want to enjoy our cruises, our cruise ships, and obviously there's a huge opportunity for games. That's Bob Iger's quote. That's basically going down the Elon Musk X route of Disney Plus is going to be the everything app. Yeah. And it's going to just spit Disney content at you. And I tell you what, if you buy Disney Plus and you get it on the advertising model, all the adverts are for Disney's own products. That tells you they're not selling advertising. To me, if I'm on the advertising model and you haven't been able to sell any adverts, just don't put any adverts in, because you're making the viewing experience worse for no reason.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
there we go.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine something worse than Mr. Clippet, who'll be the AI. Remember Clippet?
Yes.
He's going to help you book your theme park experience.
Oh, God, no. Is that
I want
really
to
what's gonna happen?
understand from Bob Iger's quote here, where he says,
Yeah.
people who want to enjoy our cruises, our cruise ships. Right, what's the difference? Who's going on a cruise but not on a ship?
I'd rather go on a cruise ship. There are other connotations to going
Bob
cruising.
Iger has lost it. He needs to lose his job. This whole idea of adding gaming, of AI, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You should be adding content. The last thing you're doing on Disney Plus is making shows. Look at Star Wars' slate. You've got Ahsoka season 2 and that's it. Nothing coming beyond that. But you're going to get an AI Rey Palpatine, and you can make her do things. It's going to end well.
Let's not dwell on that. Next.
Continuing my rant. The good news keeps coming, Paul.
Oh, sad days.
End of an era. Before we move on, Jonathan makes a good point. Warner Brothers is for sale, aren't they? Universal, Comcast, Paramount, or Netflix are all after it. You know what? I think the best people to buy Warner Brothers is Apple. Apple have a phenomenal service. I wish they owned Star Wars, because they let creatives be creative. If you're watching Pluribus, I'm loving it. It's about the unhappiest person on earth. I relate.
As the second unhappiest, what do you think? Is it good? Oh dear.
Chris is confirming, a stream broadcast, you need a license. We're screwed. Donald Trump could shut us down. This could be it.
Oh no.
We need a Fanta Plus ASAP. I'm actually building my own streaming platform at this point in time, ironically.
Hey, there you go. Top news. News.
Not going to share it with anyone. It's just going to be for me.
Now, Star Wars Insider, you received your latest copy of Star Wars Insider, haven't you?
I came in this morning and on my doorstep, or not my doorstep, inside the door, and it's still in its baggie.
So is that's the subscriber cover, is it?
That's a subscriber cover of Star Wars Insider 234. I also got an email that told me that if that's coming to an end, and they would swap it over to the Simpsons comic unless I told them otherwise. That's an optimistic move, to be fair. As much as I love Homer
genius.
Simpson.
That is genius. But they promised that the first one will be a Star Wars related.
As much as I love Homer Simpson, I'm not getting the Simpsons comic. Although, combining, we've talked about TV shows I once worked on Tipping Point, which is a lovely ITV game show with Ben Shepherd. And it reminded me of my favourite answer to a question ever on that show was, it was a question about Homer. Not Homer Simpson, but...
oh, I know. Yeah, I saw this one.
And the guy answered that his favourite food was donuts. And it just...
It's to do with Homer's Odyssey, wasn't it?
Still makes me chuckle, just the thought of that. And he was so confident with his answer as well. Anyway, enough of Homer Simpson and Tipping Point. We haven't talked about Downton Abbey this week either. After 48 years, the terrible news, in my opinion, that after what was the Star Wars fan magazine became Bantha Tracks, which we've not taken our name from at all in any form or measure, became the Lucasfilm Fan Club magazine, and then became Star Wars Insider. And it has now been announced that Star Wars Insider will end with issue 237, which I think is shocking, terrible news. And I understand the issues with printed media. But we're not even talking about cancelling printed media and going to a digital only platform, which is finished, gone, done.
Finished. Yeah.
It's indicative of Disney's term as custodians of the Star Wars brand, that this downward spiral from Star Wars being something special and unique and set aside from all other franchises, to me, to it just being another brand within the Disney brands that sit on a shelf. And you've taken away something special and unique, because Star Wars Insider was that something special and unique. And I'll even equate it, as much as I didn't like the Star Wars show or This Week in Star Wars, because I thought it was a little bit Disney sugary crap. It was a nice focus every week, like the magazine's a nice focus every couple of months. To generate Star Wars content and have news to report and communicate with a fan base. And losing all those things just makes what's the difference between Star Wars and Game of Thrones franchise, or Star Wars and Stranger Things, or anything else? What's the difference now? Nothing sets it aside. How did Lucasfilm communicate with their fan base? Through StarWars.com, which could essentially be called Star Wars Kids, because you go in there, you get recipes on how to make 10 Halloween-shaped Star Wars cookies. I'm sorry, but Star Wars Insider offered a nice range of content, from really nice, in-depth, detailed interviews with people making the franchise who otherwise I would never hear from, to content for young kids. It had nice short stories that would introduce you to future coming comics or books or whatever. It's such a nice connection to everything Star Wars, and such a nice focal point. And I don't know. I honestly don't know what to think of this. I was absolutely gutted. And then to walk back into my house today and have that sat on my mat as I came in the door, it was kind of another punch to the gut. And I just think this is the wrong decision. I could understand if they were ending the printed and just going all digital. I could almost understand that. But just to cancel it. And what annoyed me more than anything, actually, was the kind of hint that it's going to come back or be continuing in some way here. And they almost kind of insinuate that this is kind of not necessarily their decision in some way. Well, it is their decision. They've decided not to offer the magazine license out again. And that just, I don't understand it. Basically, they're giving away a form of income because it doesn't cost them anything, because it's someone paying a license for it.
Well, I mean, here in the UK, we had like a soft reboot of it in 95, 96, when we had Star Wars magazine come out, which eventually morphed to be in the same line with the American version of it and became Star Wars Insider. So for a while, you've got two different versions of effectively the same sort of content going out. And I loved it, and I really look forward to it coming out, and I collected it for a number of years. I must admit, it's not something that I've kept up with of late, but nevertheless, it's a sad day. It is my fault, apparently. But obviously, Mark, who's been sort of looking and chipping in on today's show, regularly features within Star Wars Insider. It's a missed opportunity to involve fandom with the with what's going on in Star Wars. I don't think since Disney took over it's been quite the same. There has been more sort of things thrown into the magazine that perhaps readers will be thinking, well, that's all great. How to make Jar Jar Binks fairy cakes, fantastic. But I'd rather know what's going on with Starfighter. So it's not what it was. But what do we make of them hinting that it might come back in some form?
I just think it's just crap spin.
Yeah.
For an article, it could come back in some form, but they'll use the name perhaps because the name's got a value to it. But I don't see it being anything like what we've got. The issue I've got is you've got the publisher here in terms of Titan. Yeah. They don't have access to content unless Lucasfilm provide them with access to the content. Why has Insider not been on set throughout the making of the films, and not necessarily publishing it at the time?
Exactly,
doing on-set diaries, or let's speak with all this different crew as they're making the film, and we're going to publish these interviews afterwards. You know, if you're the studio, you have to provide the access. And it's the same when films were being released. You never felt like Insider were getting access to the cast to do interviews. So has Lucasfilm cared enough about it over the past few years? Probably not. And it probably has something to do with social media. But the thing is, you don't have to be first with the news for Star Wars Insider. You don't have to view it as a news publication. What you have to view it as, this is a way to sell our product. So you've got access to things that other people don't have access to. You could have had behind the scenes with an author as a book's about to be released, get an interview before it's out. What was the inspiration? What was his Spotify playlist as he wrote it? You know, things like that. But you can make it interesting. Same with the comics. Let's see some work in progress on the comic before the comic comes out. Interview with a cast on set, and it doesn't have to say anything about what the plot's going to be, but just about how excited they are and what Star Wars means to them. There's so much you can do to make very interesting content very easily, and Lucasfilm are the holders to the key. So I actually feel very sorry for Titan, who have worked their socks off to give us a magazine for so long, and effectively with their hands tied often, in my opinion. And I've always went at every celebration to the Insider panels as well, which were always something to me as well. Because and Mark Newbold, you mentioned, is one of the writers, obviously a friend, worked with him on Fanta Tracks, not just because of Mark, but because of, you know, all the people that have worked in that magazine over the years, some of them for a short period of time, some of them for long periods of time, got to know the editors, met the editors at various shows and things. And
me too.
Huge Star Wars fans who really cared about the content they were making. And it's just another element of breaking down the value of Star Wars, I think. That's just another brand now. I actually have this theory that Star Wars Celebration for the 50th anniversary will be the last Star Wars Celebration, because I think it's just going to get rolled into D23.
Really?
Because if you start looking at all the ways that they communicate with fans, they were making money from Insider because you're getting a fee from Titan. They get a fee from for putting on Star Wars Celebration. Well, maybe they don't view that fee as being enough money either. We don't really care. It's a lot of hassle doing a celebration. Why don't we just do it part of D23? Sure, there's someone at Disney asking that question. Why do they do something separate for Star Wars? Why not just make it part of D23 and economies of scale and save on money? I actually can see Star Wars Insider returning as a 4-page branding within the D23 subscriber magazine. Something like that, where you'll get a section of the magazine called Star Wars Insider.
Oh dear.
You know, it's that.
Well, let's hope Nostradamus Cameron is completely wrong.
I just think it's the difference between someone being in charge of a private company like George Lucas, who can see things and say, look, we're not making a lot of money on that, but it's got an importance. And I equate it, this is one that comes up in conversations in the accounting world a lot, Paul. It's very sad. But you go to Five Guys, and whatever size cup of chips you get an extra scoop in the bag. If you put an accountant in charge of that company, they would do away with that extra scoop, because the customer hasn't paid for it. The customer doesn't expect it. It comes at a cost. And so they would do away with it. But what they forget is the intrinsic value of that, where people think, oh, you get a bargain it, despite paying 15 quid for a burger and then 5 quid for chips on top. It's a bargain because look at all this extra I'm getting for free. That's the customer analogy. And it's like the same with Insider. Star Wars is special because look, I'm getting my magazine on my doorstep. and I get and know and understand all the creatives behind it as well. It's not just a film.
Yeah.
I know who the artists are. I know who's making the set, who's making the props, who's doing the hair and makeup.
Exclusive content. Yeah, exclusive stuff. Yeah.
You make this connection with it. And the likes of George Lucas understood that. And that's why there was elements of Lucasfilm that ran at a loss. And slowly Disney have chipped away at it and have chipped away at all the loss-making elements. And now they're chipping away at the bits that they think, this is just a little bit too much hassle for us and we're not making enough money from it. And it's just sad.
Yeah.
So
sadly, you might be right. Okay, well, fingers crossed you're not. But
that's my rant for this week. So we talk some positive things.
Let's try.
John Watts wants to make more Star Wars.
Good luck, John.
Before we move on, Mark's actually commented as well. Can't lie, he's got about Star Wars Insider. Still feels like Bantha Tracks to him, which is a kid meant everything. Yeah. John Watts probably read Bantha Tracks as well.
Yeah.
And that's why he wants to make Star Wars films. Think about that, Bob Iger. Because he watches, you know.
He might do. Hi, Bob.
Straight out variety asked a direct question. Let's get right to the point. Do you want to make more Skeleton Crew? And he replies, I mean, I love Star Wars. I'd love to do anything in the Star Wars universe. And I think we set up in a way where the story can continue in a lot of interesting ways.
Yeah.
Yep. Wants to make more Star Wars.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean, Skeleton Crew could spin off in a number of different directions, but yeah. I think it was reasonably well received, wasn't it, Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, apart from what they did to Runa. Don't know if I've still got it. There we go.
Hey! Team Runa.
Team Runa. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. That showed the ability to make something for kids that also can resonate with the wider fan base and be enjoyable by the wider fan base. That told you a lot about what you can actually do if you put the effort in. Yeah. And sadly, probably didn't get enough viewership. Released at a tough time of year to pick up viewership because it was Christmas time. Yeah. But yeah, I liked it. I would welcome him back. Yeah. Very good storyteller.
Yeah.
Someone else that wants to come back, potentially, maybe, even though he's said a slightly dickish thing. Oscar Isaac, what was the slightly dickish thing that he said?
I have no idea. What was it?
Let's try and find it. I can't find the quote now.
Here it is.
His thoughts on Star Wars. He once said you would never return to Star Wars unless you needed another house. Oscar Isaac replies, yeah, that was a really likeable quote. Jesus Christ, you know, people ask you things, you say stuff, and you don't really think about it that much. I said a slightly dickish thing. Oh, well. He's not going to get this. Basically, he's realised that having said that, he's not going to get the second house when he wants one. Have you softened on this in recent years? You've said, well, maybe why not? Oh, yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it, although right now I'm not so open to working with Disney. But if you can kind of figure it out and, you know, not succumb to fascism, that would be great. Please note, the editor Scott, the interview was conducted 2 days after ABC and Disney suspended production of Jimmy Kimmel Live in response to comments Kimmel made following the death of Charlie Kirk. Kimmel was back on the air 4 days after this conversation took place. So he said another slightly dickish thing there, Paul. Not only is he not getting a second house, he might be struggling to keep the mortgage on this one.
I love that little bit of a disclaimer at the end. That's brilliant.
Yeah, gotta explain that one.
Oh dear.
Mr. Newbold, he loves Skeleton Crew, great energy and beautifully made.
Yeah.
So one, do you think Oscar Isaac needs a second house? And two, do you think this new slightly dickish thing that you said will stop him working with Disney again? Because he basically is called Disney fascists. Or succumbing to fascists. Poland succumbed to fascists as well quite quickly. Has he got a thing with the Polish population? These are the questions that you need to ask Oscar Isaac.
I would like to see Poe Dameron back in Star Wars. It would be great to see Poe, Finn, and Rey together in some future Star Wars project. So, I wouldn't like any comments he's made there to shut the door. But you look at what happened with who was the ranger from Mandalorian.
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune, yeah. You look at the comments that the actress made and what happened there. I mean, you're not a million miles away from from that kind of territory here,
Yeah,
So,
but Disney's excited to work with her again in the future.
Of course they are.
Yeah, I would suggest that Marvel aren't doing a second season of Oscar Isaac's show. He wasn't invited to be the Doomsday film like every other actor.
Yeah.
Oscar's probably not best friends with Disney at the moment.
No. That was. Did you watch any of that?
No.
Was it called
Moon Knight?
Or whatever it was. Moon Knight, thank you.
Yeah.
No. I watched a couple, but
it's
no.
easy to criticise Disney when you don't have any work lined up with them.
Yeah.
So you said two dickish things here. A lot of other people said dickish things around that time as well. Everybody was cancelling their subscriptions to Disney Plus as a result of the whole Jimmy Kimmel Live thing.
Yeah.
And then this past week, it was the Disney's earning call, and they announced that subscriptions were up 3.8 million in America. So if people really were cancelling their subscriptions, come on, people, tell the truth on social media. It's not a performance centre. Tell the truth.
What's the truth? Come on. Yeah, I'd like. Would you like to see Poe Dameron back? Would you like to see him return?
I think if Poe Dameron came back, it would be a dickish move.
I thought you were going to say a different actor.
I don't really care, to be perfectly honest. Is that harsh, Paul? The character meant nothing. What was important about the nothing? He's just another space jockey. You could replace him. What was special about the character?
Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I thought all three of the main characters, of the new characters, Poe, Finn, and Rey, all had really good potential to go forward. But after what happened in 8 and 9, I tend to agree with you. I couldn't care less.
His best friend was a droid. That tells you everything you need to know about Poe Dameron.
Yeah. You two are never going to get on, let's be honest.
No, I just didn't think there was anything special about the character to make me want him to come back, other than have some form of continuity in a project going forward.
Yeah,
serves no purpose.
No, I think to a large part you're right. Actually, it would be really just for continuity purposes rather than the character was so well fleshed out. I think all those characters, all three, became weaker as the sequel trilogy went on, in terms of what they brought to Star Wars. So maybe we do just draw a line under that and just move on with Starfighter or whatever else. But yeah, I don't wish him any harm. If he did turn back up in Star Wars, I would support it.
If he came back and I was Disney, I would question him, because I'm presuming he views the Empire as the fascists in Star Wars. Like many people. But if you want to know my thoughts, go back and watch episodes where we review Andor. Let's not dig that up just now. But if I was Disney, I would bring him back and I would make him join the Empire so that he's the one succumbing to fascism.
Yes.
And that would be justice.
You're a twisted man.
Twisted man. Moving swiftly on.
Yes.
Because it's running late. Sigourney Weaver has been talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu. She just won't shut up, will you? Every week.
Come on, shut up.
She makes a comment, they're no longer trying to do the Star Wars to end all Star Wars. But having said that, last week she was talking about having never seen any of it. So what does she know? They ask her about Star Wars coming up, and you haven't even talked about your comedies. Is there a thread? Is it the writing? Yeah, that's my compass. It's always the script. So with The Mandalorian and Grogu, it was not my intention to find a fourth franchise. I didn't even imagine I would enter the Star Wars world. But what's interesting about Star Wars now is they're no longer trying to do the Star Wars to end all Star Wars. They're letting the universe exist and telling really interesting stories within that. I think Jon Favreau thought, okay, we want this very strong character. Let's make it a woman. I'm not sure it was supposed to be a woman. I think, again, these days, they often think, what do I need to do to make this seem more timely? And now, because women are doing everything, hooray for us, I just fell in love with the script and said, I don't know anything about this world. John said, well, you can watch the series. And I said, oh, there's a series. So that kind of should negates her own comment that they're no longer trying to do the end all of all Star Wars, because she hasn't got a clue. Hasn't got a clue.
I think she's had a conversation with somebody high up, maybe Jon Favreau, and he said, well, we're trying to distance ourselves from the Skywalker saga, and I think that's probably what she latched onto, but didn't repeat very well.
I think, she said, the next question was, Disney Plus, what's that?
Yeah. What is this Star Wars?
Is that one of those apps on my phone? I've got time for that.
Too busy shopping. No.
So, dickish comment there from Sigourney Weaver. Let's see if Shawn Levy said anything dickish. He's been talking Star Wars Starfighter. And he says, well, for one thing, it's different in that it's an all-new, non-sequel, non-prequel adventure. It's new characters, it's a new timeline, and it inherits legacy themes, but it's really trying to give Star Wars and movie audiences something fresh, something new, and with a spirit of play and big-hearted adventure with moments of real levity that, frankly, A New Hope had in a revolutionary way. We are really trying to sort of take that tone as a North Star every day. My crew, my DP, Claudio Miranda, Gosling is my kind of central collaborator in the lead role. I've certainly been a dream come true. My 10-year-old self is on set with me every day. In fact, I'm going to catch a flight tonight to go back to the set and keep shooting on Monday. But it's a huge, invigorating opportunity because Lucasfilm has been so encouraging of me doing something new. There's no pressure to be derivative or limited by the obligation to what came before. There's just a love of what came before. He then went on to praise the director of photography, Claudio Miranda. I'll give you two things real quick beyond his artistry, which is self-evident in everything from Life of Pi to Benjamin Button. Claudio is, I call him the professor because he loves the nerdy figuring out of prep. He likes to design camera platforms that don't exist. He likes to think about lenses and format in ways that are innovative, and to the rigour of his innovative thinking is a huge gift to Star Wars that wants to break some new ground visually and be a visceral kinetic ride, which is the other thing he brings. Claudio in both Top Gun Maverick and F1 showed this. His sense of how to put people in action in a visceral way, not just in an observational way, but a subjective and participatory way in that cockpit, in that driver's seat. He does it like no one else does it, and I want that superpower for Starfighter. I should get to read the audiobook for Starfighter after that.
Take a breath now, take a breath.
I actually agree with him. So he's not made a dickish comment here. I actually was more excited by the fact that Claudio Miranda was going to be director of photography on this than I was the cast or the director, because of Top Gun, because of F1 and the innovative ways of doing that, and I thought that could make this something unique and different and special. Yeah. So I'm really glad that seems to be the case. Yeah. Having said that, the dickish comment is that he said it'll be all new, non-sequel, non-prequel adventure, all new characters. Guaranteed it will feature a sequel trilogy character in a significant way that'll tee up future films. So, bullshit, Shawn Levy, dickish comment.
I tend to think that what could happen with this is it's the 50th anniversary of the original film. They're making out that this is a standalone film.
Yeah, they're trying really hard.
If it becomes the biggest Star Wars hit that they've had in donkey's years since the Disney era, they're not going to just let it stay as a one shot. There will be a continuation. So it's almost like we're rebooting Star Wars by having something that could potentially be the beginning of the next era of Star Wars. And that's exciting. I mean, I genuinely hope that on its 50th anniversary year, Star Wars is about to release something that is worthy of being connected to that original film, even if it's only the name.
Good shit. That's a very positive
Thank
comment.
you.
Not a dickish comment at all.
I leave those to you, sir.
Mr. Newbold there with the dickish comment. They should be planning a TV series to go alongside it on Disney Plus. Made from
There won't
AI.
be.
Made from AI.
And then there should be some Fortnite episodes.
They should make it a game and make it from AI. That's what they should do and put it on Disney Plus. Yeah, that's the way to please Bob Iger in a meeting at the moment is, can you do it in AI and not have to pay anybody?
Let's do it.
Dick.
Stormtroopers everywhere. Fantastic.
Maybe they could do the hunt for Ben Solo out of AI. That's what the first thing, when they provide AI tools for Disney Plus people, make the hunt for Ben Solo and just upload it constantly to D+.
He's gone. Oh dear. Matt Smith.
Giving little away while speaking at a rabbit's foot, I have no idea what that means.
No.
Matt Smith did reveal that the filming on Star Wars Tatooine had come relatively late in the process. He films in December, with the movie due to complete filming the week before Christmas, and gave some insight into his process by explaining how he works with the costume design team on his outfits. I stand still and they measure me. He didn't say that. We're going through the process of trying to find a costume, and sometimes you don't know if you love a costume until you've worn it for a couple of days. I'm about to do Star Wars in December, and we're sort of trying to develop the look for that. So if you see him wandering about the street looking strangely dressed, he could be in his Star Wars costume, people. He was filming until late October on House of Dragon. And now he's obviously doing a press tour for other garbage that he's making. I think he's doing something for Sky at the moment, Sky TV series or something.
Something about
so
a
it
rabbit
makes sense
foot.
he's not filming to December. It suggests that he's got 3 weeks worth of content, which means he's not significantly in the movie, but it doesn't mean he's not got a pivotal part. It also doesn't mean he's not playing Palpatine, people. Somehow he could return.
Again.
He's very excited about being in it, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I hope that during the process of all the interviews for Star Wars Starfighter, we actually learn about what he actually filmed for Episode 9. That would be interesting.
That would be, yeah. And
more interesting than the film.
What? Yeah, exactly. Why not release that material now anyway?
Yeah, make it with AI and release it as a game.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, Paul. So we're ending it with Matt Smith not making a dickish comment.
No. So we've ended with something positive, which has been
basically we had 2 out of 5 comments were dickish this week on the dickish score. Let's see how we do next week.
on the dickometer.
We'll start a dickometer. We should have it like children in need, and it builds up until we reach our target for the year.
We don't really want that growing up the side of the screen, do we? Let's be honest.
No. We should have a countdown clock to when Bob Iger leaves as well. Oh dear, it's going to be interesting couple of months. There's going to be lots of changes at the top. I imagine this AI and gaming thing is Bob Iger's last swing of the bat. Yeah. And whoever comes in next will swiftly cancel it all. I generally just find it offensive that Disney is the company that's probably, fair to say, has led the world in animation, along with Pixar, which they then purchased.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't see the value in animation and that they're moving towards AI, because often the way to set yourself apart, it's the Wallace and Gromit thing. It's like the way to make set yourself apart is to be original tools and original methods. Yeah. And it's just sad that the company that leads that isn't focusing on that, where they should be the ones saying, we're not going to use AI to do animation. Yeah. We're going to use traditional methods that we've built up over the last 100 years, and we're going to focus on that, and we're going to be different. So let these other companies push out the trash. We're going to put out the quality content.
Yeah. I would love to see something in the same sort of style of the original Aladdin film, which was one of the films that brought Disney back, really, if you like. So that was like, what was that, early 90s, 1991? So something in that sort of style. I mean, the Pixar stuff is great. Toy Story 5, I'm looking forward to, if only because they used In Excess Never Tear Us Apart in the trailer. But as great as Pixar is, I would love to see something that is true animation. And like you say, with people with skills that work on it, rather than this AI nonsense. 1992. He's a
dick, isn't he?
That was a dickish
That's
move,
a dickish
Mark.
comment. If ever I saw one.
Oh dear. Anyway, should we
We should
call
end it on
this?
that, shouldn't we? One final comment. Great final episode, guys. Hope you have a 5 million handy. Dear, we're going for until it gets to the billions and until it's Trump that's bringing us down. We haven't achieved anything. And
It's only 2.5 each.
on that bombshell, it's a good night from me.
And it's a very dickish night from him. Goodbye.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at FanthaTracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow FanthaTracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.